Hey, butthead. Wakey, wakey. They didn't hit you that hard. Come on. Let's see where they bit you. Where does it hurt? Oh, I see it now. Your wrist. Weird place, but sure. You squeamish at all? Oh boy, you're gonna hate this then. Alright. This needle has a concoction that kills vampire venom. Now, before you have an anxiety attack, either close your eyes, look away, or just take it like a trooper. Alright. 3, 2, 1. Alright. You lost so much blood. You probably can barely move. Here. Let me put my hand over your eyes. Alright. Don't look. Pretend it's a really, really weird bug or something. 3, 2, 1. And there you go. Wasn't worth whizzing out over now, was it? This will counteract the venom. If it wasn't for this little fellow right here, you'd be turning into some blood-addicted, snarling heap of a mess. Actually... crap. I'm a little late. Judging by the way how your mouth is and those teeth. Nothing too bad, though. Your incisors are just a little sharp. Just don't bite down on anything too hard and you'll be fine. I'd give you an aspirin for it, but I'm a little scrapped for cash right now. So, what happened? They jump ya? Got a little too close to some shady person? What's the story? Oh, a classic. You meet a cutie at a bar after a long day. Makes you feel all warm and tingly. Next thing you know, you're in a back alley, starving, drained of blood. And if you don't go insane from hunger, you just keel over. I'd pity you, but I've heard that story more times than I've been called Buffy. Oh yeah, my name. Listen, it ain't Buffy, but I kill vampires. Not really for a living. No man on earth would be crazy enough to believe in vampires and then pay me to run around feeding my addictions and taking these things off the streets. I consider it more of a hobby. Like the rest of the world, I have a job. Gets in the way a lot, but it fuels my hobby, so it's not that bad. You're the one who gets run down by a bloodsucker, and you're asking me how my life is going? You're a weird kid. But fine. I'm a nurse. I know. The fact I don't seem to give a crap, the smoking, the fact I carry about a weird needle, some smelling concoction, doesn't really scream sweet, loving, and caring medical professional who swore the Nightingale pledge to do no harm. It just ended up that way. I wasn't lucky as a kid. I stole, cheated. Heck, Mama didn't teach me morals. She was just too busy doing I don't even know what. Dad left at birth. Never got a proper education, so most of my life was just picking up the scraps. I hated it. I only thought of myself. If I stole from a convenience store, Sucked to be that guy. I was hungry. That is, until I met a girl. I was about your age when it happened. We spent all day together. She tried to get me educated. I practically lived at her house. But there was something odd about her. She drank blood at first. I just thought she was just some weird goth chick, so I just let it happen. But the more she drank, the more forceful she became each time. Something just didn't feel right. We were close practically, like sisters, but over time, I was just her flesh bag, something to drink. So I talked to her about it, and she didn't like that I didn't want to contribute to her little ritual anymore. So I went to her parents. Big effing mistake. Chained up like an animal for years, they were in on it. Their little girl was a vampire, and they got sick of being her food, so once she met me, they could just pretend everything was normal. Every day was a nightmare. I didn't see the sun for the longest time. I can sort of thank them for that. It was painful. My body temperature got cold, my teeth hurt. I thought it was the neglect, but it wasn't. I was their blood bag. Turn monster soon enough, and when you become a monster, you get a few perks, like strength, specifically to break the chains that were holding you for so long. Let's just say everything that happened afterwards left a lot of questions that you're not going to ask about and I'm not going to answer. I'd offer you a smoke, but it's my special blend. I call it Black Dragon. See, if you get unlucky, like I did, you start craving blood. As strange as it is to say, you don't actually need it. If a vampire turns into good health, they can basically sustain themselves with their own blood for a really long time. However, because of whatever is in the venom, I crave blood. I think it's due more in part to a virus than actual venom. However, I just call it venom because it sounds cooler. Use one addiction to fight another, basically. If I'm more focused on getting nicotine, I'm not going to worry about blood. Like yours. But, granted all that, I do need it sometimes. But let's just say working as a nurse helps, especially at blood donations. Alright, let me see your eyes. Chin up. Okay. So despite the fact I really don't want you to die right now, look into the light. I just want to be sure your pupils are dilating correctly. Left one. Right one. Alright. There's a little something there, but it shouldn't be that bad. When you get the venom, basically it lets loose a virus that attacks your neuroids and, well, goes to town reprogramming you to suck blood. It also pushes the gums in your mouth outwards, so your teeth form fangs. It's a good time, eh? No pain? That's good. Here, let me take a seat. Wait. Ew, there's blood. These are my favorite pants. How about this? This ain't the worst thing that could happen. Crap. Ain't gonna be the same boat. You're gonna feel some dark things. Desperate, hungry, envy, hate. Don't let these control you. You're not an animal. I know what you're gonna go through. Don't act on it. When I was your age, I almost did. After I escaped. It was a crap show. I ran around, tried to eat regular food, but it never digested. I tried to go out in the day, but my eyes burned in the sun. I even tried to take someone's blood. When I had them pinned down, though, everything changed. I looked in his eyes. He was shaking. He was crying. My meal. My chance to sate my thirst. And I couldn't do it. I wanted to get this little voice out of my head, but no, not at the expense of someone's life or knowing they just continue the cycle. So I ran away. The following hours were hell. I scratched out walls, I cried. The one thing I did to survive the addiction? The drive to survive. The primal urge to see tomorrow. For what reason? I never lost hope. I knew that even if my life went to hell, I'd still find the simple pleasures in life. Even if my life was hanging by a thread, there'd always be at least one reason for me to be alive. Why am I alive? Ain't that the question? Well, for things I like, namely surfing, video games, my cat, simple stuff. If I died, I'd never be able to do that stuff. Now, enough of the sappy stuff. How are you feeling, kiddo? Woozy, of course. After all that blood you lost, it doesn't surprise me you're still sort of out of it. And it's not like you're gonna remember my life story anyway. Anyways, we should get you somewhere safe so you can recover and I can take a better look at you. Now come on, I'll introduce you to my cat.